Setting sun approaches for its turn to rest. Long enough to promise all of us its best. Liquid blue and white, crashing through the night.
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Andiswa Silikane and I am so delighted once again to be engaging with you guys. I love engaging with young people and so yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. And if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and share the video and tell your family members and your friends about my YouTube channel. Please share the video. I really appreciate your support. So today, as the description box has stated, that we're going to be talking about resilience. We're going to be exploring the term resilience, what it is, what it means, and how I have personally practiced resilience into my life. And also I would just like to encourage other people to really look at it and try to implement resilience into their lives, because it has done so much for me, and I cannot thank myself enough for actually practicing resilience. So without any waste of time, I'm gonna try and explain what resilience is. Actually, resilience is the ability to bounce back after you have encountered a situation that has maybe is really like traumatizing or really affecting you in a negative way. So I'm just gonna read a few paragraphs, two small paragraphs that I was reading when I was still doing my research, because I don't like talking about something that I haven't read about. So on this particular article, it says that psychologists have long studied these issues and have come up with a label you may be familiar with: resilience. When faced with a tragedy, natural disaster, health concern, relationship, work, or school problem, resilience is how well a person can adapt to the events in their life. The other explanation says that resilience is your ability to withstand adversity and bounce back and grow despite life's turndowns. So I really love the second explanation. So guys, resilience is very important. Resilience simply means that whenever you encounter a situation, a failure in whatever goal that you have set in your life, it does not mean that you must give up. We must learn as young people to be able to bounce back. And I think it's important for families also to encourage resilience in their family members' lives. And also, like, as family, we need to support each other when one family member is going through stuff. We need to emphasize resilience and really encourage that particular individual to be resilient and continue pushing forward. So what happened to me is that, like, when I was in grade 11, 2015, I was like involved in a very traumatic event, guys. Like, I went through trauma, serious trauma. That incident that happened that year, it really affected me, and it whatever that happened that day, of which I'm still not ready to talk about, affected me, and I think that it's gonna affect me for the rest of my life, since it still affects me today. So I was really traumatized by that certain event, and it affected me in a way that it affected my academics a lot, because I remember when it was happening, I think it was in June 2015. So when it happened, after that, like, when you are traumatized, trauma, it affects a person psychologically, and it also affects a person physically. It affects a whole lot of things when you go through trauma. So after that event, yes, I was like attending psychologist, and then while I was during that process, I was writing my June exams, and June exams are like so very important, and they are of high standard and all that. So I attended I wrote my June exams, and I didn't do well. I actually failed that term because I was so traumatized. I was going through a lot of personal issues that were really like, yeah, so bad. And then after that, September, when I was writing my exams again, I failed my exams, and I failed the term. And then in the final term, I was busy, and then like already my English teacher was already like concerned with my marks, and then she was calling me and asking me, Guti, what's happening, do you need help? So she really assisted me a lot, Mrs. Kuhn, shout out to her. And then she called me, and then we were just talking about whatever that happened to me, and then I told her, and then she investigated, Guti, what happened to my marks, why am I dropping so much. And then like she took my exam papers that I used to write, and then she looked through them, and she discovered that the reason why I am failing these papers, it's because I do not finish my exams. So I don't finish when I'm writing. So after that event, I was shaking all the time. Like I was always shaking. So especially when I was writing, I would first like have to write like Mpalimoye. I had to relearn how to write my name. It affected my memory. I had forgotten a lot of stuff. So whenever I would write my name, I would first write it in the air, and then it's Andiswa. So it was like very difficult for me. So she recommended that I go to an educational psychologist. She's the one who actually referred me to them. She like recommended one psychologist, educational psychologist from Nelspruit. And then yeah, I was taken there, and then they did a few assessments. And then after that, those assessments, they discovered that I needed extra 15 minutes for an hour, for every hour whenever I'm writing a test or an exam extra. So for every hour I would get 15 minutes. They call it concession. So I failed grade 11 that year, and it was the most trying time of my life. I was in denial. I did not want to go to school anymore. Like I wanted to change school. I didn't know how to deal with the embarrassment. And because I was that person who was like, I'm so loud, I'm so free at school, like people, I'm sure they would look at me going, Vele, like no wonder why she failed this one, and all that. And it was not even because of that, but it was because of personal reasons that I could not even disclose to my fellow mates, all that. So yeah, I failed grade 11. So I went back. I ended up going back to school the following year. All my friends were in matric. The first day, I remember the first day of school, I did not go to school. So I went to school the second day. When I got there, like I saw all my friends, they are wearing ties and white t-shirts. It was so sad. But then I pushed through because I did not have a choice. I had to focus on myself and all that. So I did my grade 11. So I was getting extra time, and at least now my marks were improving. So I had to pull myself together. Even though it was so hard, I had to pull myself together and just put in a lot of effort now. I remember when I passed my second grade 11, I passed with level 6 everywhere. It was just only English where I got level 3. And what was the other one? Geo, I think I got level 4. But the rest of my marks, they were like on very like good percentages. And then I went to matric. When I got to matric, I was passing. First term I passed, second term I passed, and I also passed my those exams, semi-finals. Konje bawabita ukuthi those exams I passed that term. And then yeah, and then so but then even though I was passing, um I was still like getting, average marks. So I was getting a D, a D, a D. And I had a goal that I want to go to university. I was so passionate. I wanted to study politics. I was really into politics. I wanted to do political science. So when I was doing my final exams, year metric, I was putting a lot of effort into my studies and all that. So when the results came in January, hey guys, okay, they came. So then I had, the expectation was getting a B. So when the marks came, I got a diploma. And the reason why I got a diploma was because my English was at level 3, and English is my home language. I was doing it as home language. So I had a level 3 for English, 44%. So my mom was like, you're going to write it again. I applied for supplementary exam, and then 2018 when I took a gap year, that also, like, it depressed me even more, because now I was calculating that I'm already losing the second year of my life. My mates are doing second year in university. First of all, I failed grade 11. Now I have to stay for a gap year. So that really, like, disturbed me a lot. But then I motivated myself, because I had a goal. I had a certain goal that I want a degree at the end of the day. No matter what, looks like I'm gonna get this degree. So I applied for a supplementary exam. I went and rewrote the exam at the same school that I was writing my actual metric. And then when the marks came, I had improved, though, but not that much, from 44 to 48. So I was really disappointed, because the aim was to get like 60%. And then when those marks came back, my mom was like, you are going back to write the same paper until you get it right, because you need to go to university. I was like, yeah, vele nami vele, I was like, yes, I need to. Where am I gonna go? I want to go to university. So I registered again, and then I changed the centers where I was gonna write. I went to write at Lowveld High. So I registered to write in November. That was like March. So during the whole year through, I was like studying, preparing for the final exam, studying English the whole year, guys. It was English, studying English. And then I would attend extra classes and all that. So final exams came. I went to Lowveld High School, and I wrote my first paper, second paper, because English has 3 different papers, but it's one subject. So I went and I wrote it. So the third time after I had written the examination, I was so confident. I know that I had put in a lot of hard work. And yeah, it was January. It was time to go and get the results. I had applied in all the institutions. I had applied at UJ, UL, Limpopo, Univenda, Unisa. I didn't want any mistake. UKZN, I had applied everywhere. So I went to the school with dignity, with confidence. My mom, like, we went together to the school at Lowveld High. So when we got there, they gave me my results. Guys, you will not believe it. You will not believe it. I got 46%. They had now dropped from the 48% that I had, and went down to the 46%. So I was shattered. I was really, like, I didn't know how to deal with that. I really couldn't understand. I couldn't believe it. It was so hard. But then another inner voice was telling me that, you know what, sometimes you need to accept it. You have done your best. And that's the thing about trying, guys. When you give up, when you have tried and you know that you have given it your all, sometimes you need to accept that maybe this is really not for you. So I motivated myself with those words, and I told myself that, you know what, I'll explore other options and all that. So I was starting to look at technical colleges and all that. But then still, because English was my home language, even if it's a technical college, still for your home language you need to get 50%, even if it's a diploma qualification. So that was my problem. And then I had to look at private colleges. So I remembered that there was this other girl that she used to be my friend, we grew up with. Her name is Melissa. So I remember that she had written on Facebook that she goes to the South African College of Applied Psychology. And I remember when I was applying for my political science and second option as psychology. And yeah, psychology by then was like something that I really liked. I was more interested in psychology now, so I asked her, I called her, we spoke about it, she gave me information regarding the school and all that. So yeah, we went, and it was January already. I think after 4 days we went together to Pretoria. So I got admitted at SACAB, and SACAB is the best school that I could ever ask for. And I thank God for allowing me, for placing me in that school. I thank the universe for placing me in that school. I am so grateful. SACAB is like one of the best schools in South Africa. It's one of the best. The quality is 100%. I don't even want to lie. SACAB, like the environment at that school, it's just what I needed. So sometimes, guys, I want you guys to understand that God allows certain things to happen in your life for a reason. Yes, it was hard. Yes, I was denied many times, but continue, knocking at the different doors, and one door that is designed for you will eventually open. So let's not give up. Let us be resilient. I am now doing my second year. I have done my first year well. I was doing well. I was passing. And yeah, man, I just want to encourage every other young person that they shouldn't give up on their dreams just because they got denied by systems and all that. And I want you to understand that whatever that is happening in your life, it is happening for a reason, and it's preparing you for your higher self. So please do not sleep on your dreams. Please do not give up and feel sorry for yourself. Unfortunately, the world does not understand. I got rejected again in those universities that I had applied at. They don't know what you mean. I wrote the same paper 3 times. They don't care. And even when I got to SACAB, they did not treat me like the student that wrote the same paper 3 times. So that's what we need to understand, that the world doesn't care, and we just need to practice this thing of being able to bounce back. What is it again? This English word that we're busy with. Man, resilience. Yeah, we need to practice resilience, guys. We need to really practice it in our lives and make it a lifestyle. And resilience, guys, it will really take you far. And I remember during the gap year, when I was busy preparing for my final exam, the third one, I was like, in as much as I was studying, and I was also praying and telling God about my issues, telling God that, God, I know that you have a greater plan for my life. I was just praying. I also want to encourage other young people to pray a lot, and it's important to tell God. And I just want to leave you with this verse that that kept me going during that time of my life. It's in the book of Jeremiah 29 verse 11. I'm sure everyone is familiar with it. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Guys, I held on to this word. I believed it. I had so much faith and confidence that, God, whatever that is happening, even if I can write this paper 5 times, Loksalago, you have a plan for me. And the plan that you have for me is a plan that I don't even know, because you knew me before I was formed in my mother's womb. And you also promised me that the plans that you have for me are greater, and the plans that you have for me will not harm me, and they will prosper me. So I need you guys to hold on to those words, hold on to the Lord, and hold on to your dreams. Don't lose hope. Bounce back. In the Mimbilingakshaya, just continue and stay blessed. I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Goodbye.